All right, everybody, welcome to a giveaway. We're giving away a deluxe copy of Harrow County. This is for US residents only. This is supplied by one of my patrons. And the reason we're doing this is because Corpse of Discovery has just launched by Jay over at Off the Page Games. And Jay did a wonderful, wonderful thing that a patron of mine wanted to support. That wonderful, wonderful thing is, of course, canceling their $1 pre-pledge. They have gone against the grain in a sea of people enticing you with FOMO and who are beholden to LaunchBoom, the scuzziest of marketing agencies out there. Off the Page Games canceled their $1. Shout out to them. Shout out to ICE, who also canceled the $1 pre-pledge because it's a dumb trend. And so because of that, we're going to give you some free marketing in a designated video, and we're going to give one lucky viewer a copy of Harrow County supplied by a patron of mine. A patron was like, hey, I've got a deluxe copy in shrink of Harrow County. I'm happy to send it to somebody because I'm really, really thrilled at what Off the Page Games is doing. And I'm really, really thrilled to be able to promote a company that invokes such loyalty and support from their backers. I think that's the sort of companies that I want to promote and the sort of companies that I want to do well. So what we're going to do is just take a look at the campaign, see what Corpse of Discovery has to offer. Off the Page Games, they kind of burst onto the scene with Mind Management. Mind Management, you can see that was their first big game. Then when it came back, it did super well, got $782,000. It's a really solid deduction game. If you like deduction games, I've played it. It was everybody's sort of #1 or #2 game of the year. So many content creators had that up there. For me, I've played it once. It didn't hit as well with me. I really like the game Run by Fowers Games as well for that deduction craving. But that's what you probably know them from. And then their second one was Harrow County, which is what we're going to be giving away. A sort of asymmetric game. Oh, look at that. An asymmetric game by the team that brought you the critical hit Mind Management, which was on over a dozen top 10 lists last year. Yep. And then finally, now we have the newly released Corpse of Discovery, which is Lewis and Clark and Monsters, the ultimate cooperative deduction and survival game. Okay, cool. So they're going back to their deduction roots, because Harrow County is sort of more of a battle-y, skirmishy, if I remember correctly. And Corpse of Discovery going back to deduction feels really nice. The fact that it's $39 also feels really nice. I'm really excited to check this one out. So let's take a look at it. For those of you who are new to the channel, every Monday I cover every single board game, leaving Kickstarter or crowdfunding that's out there. I read through all the rule books, and that's what we're going to do right here. We're going to take a deep dive into the rule book, see what's going on with the campaign, and see if this game is right for you, and it gets a designated video because that way I can do a giveaway. I love doing giveaways. I love being able to support the community, and a huge shout out to my patron who is supporting this giveaway as well. Again, not a paid look through or anything. It's purely community driven, and that should tell you something about the company, which I think is great. So I'm stoked to check this out, and let's take a quick look. This won't be a huge video. I'm going to read through the rulebook. I'll distill the salient points for you all, and you can decide for yourself if that's something that seems interesting. All right, I'm intrigued. Now, the core Corpse of Discovery, I prefer calling it Corpse because that's what you're going to be revealing, all the corpse of those monsters that you're taking out. It's going to primarily revolve around revealing these different symbols. I'm intrigued. The video didn't tell me too much about mechanics. All right, let's check out their little how to play. That'll give us the brief Coles notes, and then we're going to take more of a deep dive. You're going to set up the board. There will be a number of different maps for the scenario. We'll go through the exact component count, and they say once you get through all those maps, you can download more maps online as well, so the potential just to mix them up. That's important, right? That you can't memorize the maps. There needs to be enough that when you play the game, you've forgotten everything that has happened before, which in my case is just 2. There's just 2 maps. It's all I need. I will forget. Once upon a time, I wouldn't have forgotten anything, and now my head is too full of voices that there's no room for anything else. Know your goal. Each chapter is a unique objective, which usually involves finding and killing monsters. There's 2 in that base pledge. That core of Discovery pledge. Sorry, that Corpse Core of Discovery pledge, one of them. Explore a path, lift up path tokens, find critical resources. I see, okay. So you're going to get to be removing these things, you're going to get resources, but you're only going to need specific resources for the scenario, and then you have to use the clues that are around there to sort of battleship your way into the resources before you use up too much time, right? Take the resources you found, place it in your backpack, solve challenges. When the time runs out, you'll earn rewards if you pass challenges, but consequences if you fail. Use deduction. There are rules for how to find each resource. You know that wood is always adjacent to water. It appears exactly once in each row and column. Can you find the wood you need in time? Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. I like that. You're uncovering the map, and there's an ongoing thing that you have to work with. Then stay alive. If you're told to drink water but can't, you lose. Okay, yeah, I'm interested. Deluxe wooden version. Who cares? We've got the flora and the fauna chapters, 39 US. That's a good price. 53 Canadian. 18 maps. More can be downloaded. So 9 of each one. That feels like completely enough. But it's great that you can download more. And then 6 character cards as well. Cool. The deluxe is an extra 20 bucks US. Wooden, just a whole bunch of wood stuff. Deeper box with tray system to hold all expansions, but the expansions are included, yeah, so you better be just getting everything. 119 if you want to get all the expansions, which gives you the 4 different maps. I don't know if you really need that. I think it should work just perfectly fine on its own. Let's download the rulebook, read the rule. Cool, I'm really intrigued by this. I like deduction games, right? I really like Cryptid. I like Run. I'd be willing to give Mind Management another chance. I can see the potential there. I just didn't have a good one play of it the only time I played it. But I don't think that's indicative of what the game is. Oh, cool, the challenge row. So there's going to be cards that pop up that you have to complete, or else there is the consequence. The consequences seem to stay pretty consistent. Challenges are just sort of spend resources, but you're going to need to keep those to do other things. I feel like I've intuited most of this. And that's great, right? It's great when you can look at a game, because I really didn't know what was going on, and then a few brief glances, I was able to kind of guess at most of the mechanics, and now just reading through the rules, it's a matter of me checking if I'm right or not. So each chapter has a unique objective to be completed. You'll also pass a set of daily challenges. Okay, cool. On each turn, a player will explore a path, perform free actions. So first you're going to explore a path. You just remove a path token. That's very simple. Cool, so you're going to start in one specific spot, and then you can keep exploring until you hit either a rock or a monster. If you're stuck between a rock and a monster, well, you better be doing something to get rid of that monster. You can't explore further past them. You either have to deal with the monster, or you have to take the long way around, if there is a long way around. Cool, when you fully explore either a column or a row, you get something special. There's a backpack, your resources, your supplies limited. Monsters can spawn, and then finally you can use free action. You can use your character ability. One-time use, you can use gear abilities, any things that you've picked up. You can kill a monster. Each chapter has a specific way to kill monsters. Refer to the chapter's specific rules for details. Use destiny cards. You draw destiny cards when you do good things. They're shared amongst all of you. You can build a shelter, discard the resources. Building a shelter prevents the penalty of being fatigued when you're backpacked. You can store some stuff there, essentially. Only one shelter can be on the map board at a time. You just move it. Okay. Build a fire. 3 fires at any time. Help with some challenge cards. Cool. And then you can backtrack. You can choose to discard 2 fire tokens from the supply board to backtrack. You're like, oh, sorry, wrong door. It's that gif of yes, this one. That's what you do. For the record, I searched, oops, GIF, turn around, baby, which coincidentally is going to be the key secret phrase that we're going to use for the draw. It's going to be turn around, baby, or maybe just baby. Maybe just put baby in in the message, and that's what we'll search for. Now I'm going to say a different keyword at the end, so only the people who actually found it here are going to be entered in the competition to win a copy of Harrow County. The fake one's going to be harrowing, but you want to include the words, turn around, baby, or maybe just baby. I knew I'd stumble upon something funny that I would want the phrase to be. End of day. Once all 3 challenge cards for the day have been resolved, you must resolve the end of day challenge. There's another one, feed your crew. So you have to be keeping on gathering a lot of food tokens while still managing the other types of resources that you need to complete your quests. You get those resources by exploring. You're trying to deduce what to explore so that you have the resources that you need. You need to take not too long. Finally, add the time limit number of every unresolved challenge card still on the supply board and each challenge card remaining in the challenge deck. This is your final score. 28 plus, you win. Everything else, you lose. That's how these games work. Fauna, the goal is find and kill 3 minotaurs. That's your goal. Minotaurs just make you discard resources. Okay. Kill 3 Minotaur, game ends immediately. And then Flora, the flora are controlling everything, you must locate the giant plant that's controlling all the flora and bring the highly volatile Greek fire to its location in order to burn it to cinders. So you have to find the Greek fire, you have to bring that to the flora, and you need to make sure that it doesn't control all the plants so that they all gobble you up like Little Shop of Horrors. So those are the vibes of the base game. Then we have Vimeter. We have a few expansions. There'll be Vimeter will be running around on the board. You got to kill Vimeter and surround it. We've got expansion 3, Maldonado. The specter of a long dead Spanish conquistador is attempting to influence the core of Discovery and turn them away from their mission. Hashtag oops, turn around, baby. Somebody's a traitor in this one. Cool. So there's a little bit of secret identity in that one. Adding social deduction to the deduction. Insecta, that's got this little boat icon, the little boat board. You just have to kill 4 insects and protect your boat. And then expansion 4, Fog. They stumble through the fog. They realize that the terrain no longer follows the regular patterns they once relied upon to navigate these strange parts. I wonder what the map designing process for this is, because I imagine you would auto-generate these sorts of maps, right? Like a computer can generate a lot of these maps, and then you just test them. However, do you like reverse engineer the maps and say, okay, we want this thing to happen, we want this thing to happen, we know they want to go this way on this map, then let's throw a bunch of stuff in the way. I don't know. Find 3 teepees and then correctly identify the rules for each terrain to win this chapter. Okay, so this one's more like cryptid-like. You need to know what the rules are and you can reveal those. I like that. That's probably the most interesting expansion to me. Fog, then just counting down 4, 3, 2, 1. I think that's the most interesting of expansions for me. But I don't know. I think I would be very happy with just the base game. This feels like a base game pledge to me. And of course, that's why nobody's done it. And all the backers are going to be, all 592 of them are going for the Ultimate Edition. We got 53. Let's look at the shipping. We always have to look at the shipping. Nice. Retail version, 7 US, 10 Canadian. So 63 Canadian to get it to your door. I could see this being like 55 in stores, and then you have to pay tax in stores. Here you just pay the shipping. The taxes are already built in. 39.46. That feels actually pretty reasonable. I think a really decent game. I like the mechanics of it. I'm not that worried about the maps getting too stale because there are 9 maps and more that you can print out. I think I do want the more that you can print out now that I think about it, because you're exploring in a way, right? And so going on a journey and going on a path, it makes it a little bit more memorable because there's a story attached to it. And so I would want the option to have more maps once you've worked your way through all of the 9, and if you're finding they're difficult to keep track of. However, you always have the same goal, right? You always have the same start point. You always have the same goal. I don't know. It might be something that I would remember. But yeah, 46 bucks feels pretty reasonable, even just to get in at that retail. And I know you could wait for retail, but I think a really good reason to not wait for retail is if you are one of those people who's interested in the game. You have to be interested in the game, first of all, and who wants to support a company that, doesn't deal with skeezy Launch Boom, because the people over at Launch Boom overtly want to exploit you. Sorry, they've changed the phrasing of their article to now use your backer behavior against you. But I think Off the Page Game has rightfully listened to their community and listened to the board gaming community and doesn't care about providing the same form response email to every single person on their mailing list, but actually care about getting a good game into your hands. And supporting them on Kickstarter will, instead of retail, will help them put more things and produce more great things. So if this interests you, I think it's worthwhile checking out for sure. And I wouldn't say that if it didn't look like a decent game. I don't think you should go for the all-in. I think if you're interested, the Fog looks like the most interesting expansion for me. So I would go with probably the core pledge and then throw the Fog in. I think those 3 would give you enough variability to be very happy with this game. So that's the gist of it. That's the brief overview of Core of Discovery by Off the Page Games. And now we're going to get into the giveaway. The giveaway rules. You're going to have to drop a secret phrase down below. What's the secret phrase? Well, I hope you're psychic and you skipped right here, because I'm going to tell you what the secret phrase is, and it certainly isn't a different secret phrase that I've already said. The secret phrase is going to be just harrowing. Harrowing. It's going to be harrowing because you can get yourself a copy of Harrow County. So use harrowing somehow in your sentence, and you can turn your collection around, baby, by adding a deluxe copy of Harrow County to yours, supplied by one of my very generous patrons who just wants to support a company that they care about, and subsequently makes me care about as well. So yeah, drop that down in the comments below. I'll do the drawing in Core Discovery's episode of Crowdfunding Countdown. So that should be on May 6th because it ends on Tuesday, May 14th. So I will cover this on May 6th. 2 Mondays from now, we'll be covering this in Crowdfunding Countdown, and I will be I'll be drawing the winners in that episode as well. That's what I'm going to do for giveaways. Stay tuned to this channel because I might have another giveaway coming up. I will. It'll be for Burnt Island's game that's coming out because I like it, and I was just planning on buying a copy, and they were going to give me a copy, so I said, great, make that a giveaway for my lovely community, because I was going to buy a copy anyway. More about that later. This one is for Harrow County, and check out Core of Discovery as well. Thanks everybody for watching. Drop that secret phrase down below. My name is Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but I have a secret phrase. I have a secret phrase. It's a secret phrase, and you can drop it down below. Okay? Just do it. Just no, don't run out of the room. Just do it. All right. I'll see you in the next one.